Hey, this is Bill, and here's today's video on anxiety. Okay, after 20 years of therapy, I decided that therapists were only moderately helpful with anxiety. That anxiety was something that I was going to have to deal with on my own and in my own way. For me, it was such an overwhelming problem that I had to address it with pharmaceuticals. I had tried everything from kava to grapefruit juice, and nothing worked. Nothing herbal calmed me down. I drank more chamomile tea 1 month than Ceylon did in the 1800s. I just consumed, and it worked pretty well. But I added kava to it, cat's claw, all kinds of things I was doing for anxiety. And they worked a little bit, but I would have panic attacks, and they were vicious. And they were sometimes constant, and sometimes they went on for weeks. And I would be functioning, and I'd be out there doing stuff and whatever I needed to do, and internally I'd be in this state of constant panic and fear. And honestly, I got so tired that I couldn't even begin to tell you how exhausted I was, and I'm sure you understand. So when dealing with anxiety, you're faced with the dilemma, is this just a little anxiety, or is it a lot, or is it a lot, am I used to it? Where am I with this thing? And how is it really affecting me? We know that it steals joy. We know that it saps you from opportunity, from creating things that you really want to create. So dealing with it is a dynamic and unique process to you. What I did was I decided finally I had to use pharmaceuticals. So I used Xanax, and yet I used it, and I credit myself with being slightly brilliant for doing this. I used it so sparingly that I was taking 1/24th of a milligram. So that was a 1/4 milligram tablet, a quarter of that, I believe. So at any rate, very low dosage Xanax. And it opened up a huge opportunity for me to deal with my anxiety, and it worked. But even at very low dosages, Xanax was fully addictive or dependent. I'm not sure which it was for me, but it took me a year to taper off to none. And the way I did that is I took that tiny 1/4 milligram, I ground it up, put it in a glass of water with an exact measurement each day, and I would take out 1 tablespoon a day, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons, reducing my intake of Xanax over a period of a month. And it was not, even at that level, easy. So these are very powerful drugs. And I think the final day, or the last 2 or 3 days where I was on almost no Xanax, I did take 5 milligrams of Valium each day just to deal with that final difficulty. And then I stopped the Valium, and I was able to wean myself off the Xanax. So I tell you about this because we are dealing with a powerful mental illness that sometimes one needs to use pharmaceuticals. I don't want to really get into a discussion about Ativan, Xanax, the different anxiety drugs, really, because I believe that you can get over anxiety without drugs. But the drugs can allow you enough breathing room and enough energy to go and do the natural stuff that releases anxiety. So what I do now is I do yoga. I do a very simple daily routine in the morning. It takes 15 minutes, and there's no super bendy stuff in it at all. It was a yoga routine developed by Matt Rosenberg, also known as Yogi Matt, who I think is a really inspiring, amazing yoga teacher on YouTube. His website is cafeholistic.com, and he's well worth taking a look at. He is not afraid of making mistakes on camera. He's fully present and a wonderful guy at the same time. So I have put his 15-minute yoga routine here on my channel. And please make use of it every morning. I just whip it up on the iPad or my phone, and I watch it and do the routine with Matt every single day. So it's a great way to start the day. It releases a great deal of anxiety and brings up your tone so that you can do more to deal with your depression. And if you work with my processes in my other videos along with this, you will find that you can knock out about 80% of any depression within a few days, even sometimes the same day. So good health, good mental health to you folks, and keep an eye on these videos. Comment if you like, and let me know what your thoughts are. My email address is also posted if you have any serious questions you need to ask. And remember, one thing, very important, suicide is never the answer, even when it seems to be the only answer. There's always a better day, and it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next week, but that day will come, and you will be glad you dealt with your issues instead of taking yourself out. Be a good human and understand that you are valuable, loved, and are capable of so much in this world.